are tons of reasons why the Ruger 1022 has stayed at the top of the rimfire game for decades. It's affordable, cheap to shoot, versatile, and most of all, it's loads of fun. But this iconic rifle has some fascinating secrets that even its most diehard fans might not know. Welcome back to Bolt vs. Lever. In this video, we'll talk about things you very likely didn't know about the Ruger 1022. From its surprising military ties to its cutting-edge suppressed version. Just a quick shout out to say thanks for all the love and support you've been showing our channel. We seriously appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time to hit that button. It helps us keep the lights on and crank out more human-made videos for you. And with that out of the way, let's get to it. Number 10. The M1 Carbine Connection. You probably haven't heard of it, but the 1022 has deep roots in a firearm from World War II. Bill Ruger was a big fan of the M1 Carbine's compact feel and straightforward handling. It's not a coincidence that your 1022 has a barrel band similar to the M1 Carbine, because that was borrowed straight from the military classic. It doesn't just hold the barrel securely, it also gives you a rifle with a familiar, timeless look. If you've ever picked up an M1 Carbine, the balance and ergonomics on your 1022 probably feel pretty similar. Bill Ruger wanted shooters to enjoy a .22 rifle that felt as natural and intuitive as the M1 had been for soldiers in the field. The result is that comfortable stock shape, quick handling, and a design that remains easy to shoulder and aim. Of course, the 10-round rotary magazine is all Ruger's doing, which propelled the 1022 into a league of its own. While drum mags and extended magazines came later, Ruger's original 10-rounder was a clever concept that still impresses people decades on. Some rifles come and go, but the 1022 endures because it merges proven M1 Carbine elements with Bill Ruger's own innovative ideas. If you love a rifle that feels classic yet modern, you can thank the M1 Carbine for nudging the 1022 in the right direction. Number 9. The aluminum receiver advantage. The 1022 is known for a lot of things, some of which are its reliability, lightweight, and impressive longevity. A big reason behind that is its investment cast aluminum receiver. People might assume aluminum was chosen just because it's cheaper than steel. In reality, Bill Ruger went with his approach to make the rifle both sturdy and easy to carry. When you're hauling a .22 around in the woods all day, or moving from one shooting bench to another at the range, every pound matters. Aluminum also laughs in the face of rust, unlike steel. It's far less prone to corrosion. That's good news if you're the type who likes to stash a rifle in the truck for impromptu plinking sessions. There's no point in having a dependable rifle if the receiver is going to corrode in wet or humid conditions. The 1022's receiver shrugs off rough weather and endures, so you can keep shooting without worrying about damage. The investment casting process keeps the receiver's dimensions consistent, though all the other components fit together precisely. When all the parts mesh seamlessly, you end up with better reliability, easier maintenance, and top-notch accuracy. That's a win any way you look at it. Aluminum's machinability also means you can deck out your 1022 with as many accessories as you like, from scope mounts to upgraded trigger groups. The 1022's receiver can handle countless modifications. That's why the 1022 is one of the most customized rimfire rifles on the planet. Number 8. Simple barrel swaps with the V-block. You know how some folks complain about switching barrels, that doing it on most rifles can be real problematic? The 1022's V-block system laughs at that notion. Ruger's engineers designed a method that keeps the barrel rock solid, but still lets you swap it out quickly at home. You don't need a fancy armor or setup, just basic tools and a little bit of know-how. The magic lies in how the barrel attaches to the receiver. A V-block and 2 screws clamp everything tightly into place. When you loosen those screws, the barrel comes right out. If you ever want to upgrade to a match-grade barrel for precise target work, or move to a lightweight fluted one for hunting, you can do it in minutes. This is a dream feature for anyone who likes to experiment with different barrel lengths, contours, or threaded options for a suppressor. That level of ease is unusual in mass-produced rifles. Gun owners often wind up paying a gunsmith or dealing with tricky procedures when changing barrels. Ruger decided from the start that the 1022 should be user-friendly, which is exactly what you get with the V-block design. Number 7. The SR22's tactical twist. Ruger surprised a lot of folks in 2009 by launching the SR22, essentially a 1022 stuffed into an AR-style chassis. This move turned a casual plinker into a modern, tactical-looking rimfire that's both functional and seriously customizable. If you've ever wanted the familiarity of the AR platform with the affordability of .22 ammo, the SR22 might have caught your eye right away. The heart of the SR22 is still that proven 1022 action. It's housed in a CNC machined aircraft-grade aluminum chassis, designed to accept all sorts of AR-15 attachments. Rails along the top and sides let you mount optics, flashlights, lasers, and basically anything you'd put on an AR. The chassis also accommodates AR-15 grips, stocks, and handguards. That means you can tailor it to fit your shooting style or personal preference with relative ease. Ruger threaded the barrel so it's suppressor ready out of the box. That's a welcome bonus if you like quiet shooting or want to soften the report for backyard plinking. Even with the tactical aesthetic, the SR22 remains a 1022 at its core, so it's as reliable and accurate as ever. Some folks think the tactical look doesn't match the classic 1022 vibe, but others appreciate having a .22 rifle that mimics the AR-15's controls and feel. Number 6. Steel receiver for the 1022 Magnum. There are 1022 owners posting online about whether or not the 1022 could be converted to chamber .22 Magnum. But what they probably don't know is in 1998, Ruger did make a 1022 chambered for the .22 Magnum. Well, of course, we all know that the .22 Magnum has higher pressures than the .22 long rifle, so Ruger beefed up the receiver by opting for steel instead of the usual aluminum. If you own one of these 1022 Magnum rifles, you might not immediately notice the weight difference, but it's there, and it plays an important role in handling the added stress. A .22 Magnum sends bullets downrange with a lot more punch than the standard .22 long rifle. That means the receiver must stand up to greater force, especially if you're doing rapid fire sessions. The steel construction gave the 1022 Magnum the toughness it needed for that extra energy. Unfortunately, this model was discontinued in 2006. There are a few theories about why. Some say reliability issues cropped up when people tried using aftermarket magazines. Others say manufacturing costs were higher and the market for .22 Magnum semi-autos wasn't large enough. Personally, I'd rather shoot .22 LR because ammo is cheap. But whatever the reason, these rifles are no longer in production. If you happen to own one, you've got something that collectors keep an eye out for. The 1022 Magnum remains a fascinating chapter in the rifle's history. It proved Ruger could adapt this platform for higher-powered rimfire rounds. Even if the run was relatively short, it demonstrated how versatile and robust the 1022 design can be. If you ever stumble upon one and you've got the money, jump on the chance to pick it up. Number 5. The short-lived 17 HMR Venture. When the 17 HMR became popular sometime in the early 2000s, Ruger took notice and decided to chamber the 1022 in this hot new round. They called it the 1017, and on paper, it looked like a match made in heaven. The 17 HMR shoots flatter and faster than .22 long rifle, giving you extra range and better performance against small game. However, putting that high-pressure cartridge into a semi-automatic platform turned out to be a tricky challenge. The 17 HMR's higher pressures and sharper recoil impulse led to frequent feeding and extraction hiccups on the 1017. Semi-autos like a steady, predictable push, and the 17 HMR wasn't always cooperating. Over time, the increased wear on certain parts also created durability concerns. Meanwhile, plenty of bolt-action rifles in 17 HMR were running flawlessly, so Ruger's experiment with the semi-auto didn't stand much chance. Ruger ended production of the 1017 shortly after it began. So, like the 1022 Magnum, the 1017 is a rare find on the used market, and collectors these days snap them up for their uniqueness. Number 4. Surprising military applications. It might catch you off guard that a 22 LR rifle is used in some military settings, but the Ruger 1022 found an unusual niche with the Israel Defense Forces, or IDF. They modified a few 1022s to serve as non-lethal or less lethal crowd control tools. They'd mount suppressors and optics and use specialized 22 rounds that were intended to injure without causing fatal wounds when fired at certain areas. This tactic was meant to deter aggressive crowds while avoiding the lethality of centerfire rounds. However, 22 LR can still be deadly if misused, so the practice stirred controversy. Critics argued that even low-powered ammo can cause severe harm if not employed correctly. Nevertheless, the IDF's adoption of the 1022 illustrated how flexible the platform can be. The rifle's compact profile and mild recoil made it easy to handle under stress. Combining that with accurate, lower-velocity rounds gave the IDF a targeted approach to crowd control. It's not the everyday role you'd imagine for a rimfire rifle, but it shows that the 1022's adaptability goes beyond recreational shooting and small game hunting. Number 3. Integrally suppressed, the Silent-SR ISB. You might think the only way to shoot a suppressed 1022 is to thread the barrel and screw on a can. Ruger took things a step further with the Silent-SR ISB, which stands for Integrally Suppressed Barrel. It was designed specifically as a 1022 takedown variant. Instead of adding a big tube on the end, Ruger built the suppressor right into the barrel. This keeps your setup sleek while delivering seriously quiet shots. With subsonic 22 LR ammo, the Silent-SR ISB takes the already gentle 22 LR's report down to a hush. If you're doing backyard plinking or want to hunt without spooking every critter in the area, an integrally suppressed barrel can come in real handy. It also helps to avoid some of the extra length you get when you attach a traditional can. You can take the suppressor apart for cleaning, since rimfire ammo tends to leave behind a good bit of lead and carbon residue. The baffles are stainless steel, and an aluminum sleeve keeps things light. Installation is as simple as popping off the old barrel and locking on the ISB. You still get that quick takedown functionality, so your rifle remains backpack friendly. Number 2. Over-the-top mag capacity. A standard 10-round rotary mag is what most folks picture when they think of the 1022. Ruger's original design set the bar for reliability in rimfire magazines. But if you crave more firepower and your local law allows it, German Sport Guns, or GSG, has a 110-round drum magazine that takes plinking marathons to a whole new level. Stuffing 110 rounds into one magazine might seem crazy, but that's exactly what the GSG drum does. It's made with durable polymer and metal feed lips to handle the stress of pushing that many rounds toward the chamber. While some high-capacity rimfire mags can be hit or miss in the reliability department, many 1022 owners report good results with this one. Yes, you'll add weight and bulk to your rifle. You might have to adjust how you shoot and hold the 1022 with such a large drum hanging from it. Yet, there's a certain thrill in having that many rounds on tap for extended firing sessions. If you and a friend want to spend an afternoon knocking down steel plates, or just seeing how fast you can rip through a magazine, the 110-round drum is hard to beat. Number 1. Getting the most punch from a 22 LR. Everyone knows 22 LR is a soft shooting round, but some loads push performance beyond the typical sub 1300 feet per second range. If you're hoping to squeeze a little extra energy from your 1022, maybe hunting for small game or just for the fun of it, there are a couple of cartridges you'll want to check out. CCI Stinger is one of the classic go-to options. It has a 32-grain copper-plated hollow point bullet that can clock around 1,640 feet per second. That's a noticeable jump over standard .22 ammo. Another great option is the Aquila Super Maximum, which uses a 30-grain projectile capable of reaching around 1,700 feet per second. You get a slightly lighter bullet, but a bit more velocity. Some shooters prefer the Stinger for its proven track record, while others like pushing the speed envelope with Aquila. Keep in mind that these hotter rounds generate more pressure. They'll wear out your 10/22's internals relatively faster than standard ammo, so regular cleaning and maintenance are important. Even so, your 10/22 can typically handle them just fine. And regrettably, that's all the time we have for today. There are a lot of other things people don't know about the Ruger 10/22. If you know some of them, feel free to sound off in the comments. While you're down there, don't forget to hit like, share this video with fellow enthusiasts, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you never miss out on more firearms content like this. See you next time.